It's been a good week for us HHN fans. Last week, we were given our first IP coming to this year's event, and now we have a brand new spec map complete with houses, scare zones, and shows. So let's take a look at it and let's break it all down. With HHN 35 only 3 months away, the event is finally getting fleshed out. So far, we have been given our theme, the Infernal Carnival of Nightmares, as well as 2 of our houses. One of our original houses will be Jack and Oddfellow Chaos and Control, a house that will be used as a prologue to the event, showcasing our 2 icons of the year, Jack the Clown and Dr. Oddfellow. This house will give us some backstory to the characters and the overall theme as well. And we were given our first IP house as well.
Welcome in. The game's just getting started. But be warned, the house always has an edge. And this one's jagged.
Sink your teeth into Sinners, one nightmare of many, only at Universal Halloween Horror Nights.
Sinners is confirmed to be coming this year, and will showcase the opening of the Smokestack Twins juke joint, where the blues become red as some bloodthirsty vampires look to crash the party. As we creep closer to the opening date, the announcements will probably start coming hot and heavy as we get closer to those summer months. But Horror Night Nightmares dropped their 4th spec map of the year to give us some hints of what could be announced in the near future. The best part about this map is it's not just the houses, but it's also the scare zones and shows and entertainment. Here on the map, you can see the houses are labeled with red houses, showcasing their locations as well. The scare zones labeled with orange pumpkins, and the shows labeled with blue theater masks. Without further ado, let's take a peek at this map and see what we can come up with. Let's look at our houses first, starting in the bottom left. First up, in Soundstage 22, we have our first confirmed house, Jack and Oddfellow Chaos and Control. So pumped that this house is going to be in a soundstage, giving it the space it needs to create some awesome sets and really flesh the story out. Next, in Soundstage 23A, we have our picture of a book on fire, which many are speculating is Evil Dead Burn. The newest installment in the Evil Dead series comes out in July, and is sure to be another creepy entry. HHN on both coasts has featured Evil Dead houses in the past, so it would not be a surprise to see Evil Dead Burn coming to this year. And given that these movies always have fun and gory sets, this house is sure not to disappoint. Next up, we have an upside-down grandfather clock in Soundstage 23B, which is sure to be Stranger Things 5. This is another property that has made many appearances at HHN in the past, so a house to showcase its final season is inevitable. These houses always have incredible sets, and the last one being in a soundstage is sure to be a great finale to this series. In Soundstage 24B, we have a picture of what appears to be humans in a zoo cage, which people are speculating to be an original house based off some sort of zoo theme where the zoo animals are potentially hunting the humans. This house has me very intrigued, and I really hope it is true. This house is sure to have some fun sets and some really cool costumes, and will hopefully have an appearance from the HHN bear. Next, in Soundstage 24A, we have a hand doing the Rock On sign, which is most likely going to be a house based on Ozzy Osbourne. This house has been speculated for a while, but a recent YouTube live of Jack Osbourne, Ozzy's son, being asked about Ozzy potentially getting a house at this year's event, has many people speculating that this one is a done deal. Here's the clip.
Oakley dokley then.
Oh wait, look at this one.
Any validity to the rumors of an Aussie house at Universal Horror Nights this year? Yeah. Hey, what else did this other person say?
Yeah, that was an odd response. If this does prove to be true, I am here for it. The past music houses have all been fun, and I think Ozzy lends himself to HHN more than, say, The Weeknd, so I will be excited to check this one out. In the Fast and Furious queue, we have a picture of Guts, which is being speculated to be an HR Blood and Guts house. He's a character created by HHN and Universal, and has appeared in some past events. I believe the last one was 2021, so he's due for another appearance, and an anniversary year is a great time to make that happen. Now, let's move on over to the tents. In Sprung Tent 4, we have our pincushion, which is speculated to be for Hellraiser. This has also been long speculated, but this house did start out in speculation in the sound stages and has now moved to the tents. Hellraiser has surprisingly never had a house at HHN before, so this house is sure to be an incredible addition to this year. In Tent 3, we have our other confirmed house, Sinners. This house being in a tent location is sure to give lots of Darkest Deal vibes, which was one of the best houses in 2023. So let's hope that Sinners can live up to that hype. Following Sinners, in Tent 2 is a picture of what appears to be lipstick and some damaged DNA. This is actually a slightly changed picture from past spec maps that has some of us potentially changing our minds on what this could be. Before, the photo had a radioactive symbol, making most of us believe that this is going to be the next house in the BlizzCon universe. But now, with the removal of the radioactive symbol, this has many of us thinking that this could potentially be a house based on Vanity Ball. Vanity Ball was a scare zone in HHN 29 that featured a ball where mutilation is considered beauty. This is such a creepy concept, and I would love to see this fleshed out in a whole house. And lastly, in Tent 1, we have our picture of an alien in a cowboy hat, which is speculated to be based on some alien invasion in the Old West. I am always a fan of Old West houses, with last year's Hatchet and Chains house being my third favorite house at last year's event. And with this year's house involving aliens, well, I'm sold. I could definitely see this house being in my top 3 this year as well. Okay, there's our houses that are speculated for this year. What do you think of this list? It's been pretty consistent with most past spec maps, so I wouldn't be surprised to see most or maybe all of it announced at some point in the near future. Alright, now let's look at our scare zones. Our entrance scare zone shows a circus tent with the number 35, obviously referencing the carnival theming and the anniversary year. This scare zone is sure to be our entrance to the event, engulfing us in the overall theme and introducing us to our icons and maybe some of their friends. In New York, we have a picture of a clown. Now, is this going to be just a generic clown scare zone? Probably not. I'm thinking this will either be a scare zone based off famous clowns in the horror world, think killer clowns, art, Pennywise, or it could be a zone based off famous clowns of HHN. This could be Jack's zone for the year, with some help from his sidekick Chance. In Central Park, we have a picture of a banana. As much as I hate to say this word, it looks like this will be a zone based off Fortnitemares. My main grievance with this scare zone is that it's just pandering to the teens, who are notoriously the worst guests at HHN. Yes, I know I sound like a grumpy old man, but I miss when HHN didn't pander to the teens. I'm also annoyed that Fortnite is taking over the Central Park scare zone. This has been my favorite zone almost every year. But someone who has never played Fortnite, nor do I think I have any interest in it, I can't see it being my favorite scare zone this year. Prove me wrong, Fortnite. Prove me wrong. And our last scare zone in the Hollywood section of the park has a picture of a watch face, maybe a stopwatch, with a little flame on top. Now, I don't know what the flame is for, but does the watch represent the caretaker perchance? His tagline is, "Your time has come." And I would personally love some more icon representation this year, on top of Jack and Oddfellow. Alright, so there are our scare zones. What do you think of these being our potential zones? Which are you looking forward to, and which do you hope get replaced before the event actually comes? Let me know in the comments. Now, let's go over our shows and experiences. First, our 2 shows seem to be another Lagoon show and a stage show in the Fear Factor Theater. The show in the Fear Factor Theater was speculated on the last spec map, but no one seemed to have any idea what the picture represented. Well, Horror Night Nightmare shared a sketch from HHN in 2007 showcasing a Jack show, seeming to link this year's show to maybe a new Jack show, or maybe even a full icon show. And as much as I love Nightmare Fuel, I would love to see a full icon show come to this year. So fingers crossed that this rumor is real. And lastly, there are also hints on this map of a return of Mel's Die-In Zombies, which made its first appearance last year and was a huge crowd pleaser, as well as the return of the Death Eaters in Diagon Alley. And beside the little DJ pic in the San Fran zone where Club Horror was last year, there seems to be a picture of the Pumpkin Lord attached to it. Does this mean a Pumpkin Lord DJ? Because if so, that would be amazing. And just to add fuel to the Pumpkin Lord fire, HHN Pumpkin Lord on Twitter recently tweeted, "My realm will return soon." Like, if this ain't confirmation that he's returning, I don't know what is. So there you have it. There's everything that's on this new and potentially last spec map for HHN 35. With announcement season in full swing, we should see if these rumors are true or not in the coming weeks. If this map is anywhere close to correct, we seem to have a lot of icon references, which will make for an amazing anniversary year. What do you think of the houses, zones, and entertainment on this map? Does this have you pumped for this year, or do you think it will be a letdown? Personally, I haven't been this excited for HHN in years, maybe even since 2019, and I am totally ready to step foot in the infernal carnival of nightmares. Thanks for taking the time to speculate with me. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and if you want more theme park content, please subscribe. You can also follow me at Canuck Park Hopper on Instagram for more theme park fun. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the fog.